I'm very fortunate for us to be able to see the work of Madelyn Porter, who will be performing a piece about Sojourner Truth. We thought that if we took one person out of history and maybe focused on her to show her story. So without further ado, I will invite Madelyn to come on out, and she then performing her piece on Sojourner Truth. Thank you.
No more peck of corn for me. No more. No more. No more peck of corn for me. Medita. No more pint of salt for me. No more. No more. No more pint of salt for me. No more 100 lash for me. No more. No more. No more 100 lash for me. No more missus calling me. Come here. Come here. Hurry up and come here. Many thousand go hush. Hush. Somebody calling my name. Oh, my Lord. Oh, my Lord. What shall I do? I'm so glad that trouble don't last always. I'm so glad that trouble don't last always. Oh, my Lord. Oh, my Lord. What shall I do? Hush. Hush. Somebody calling my name. My name. There. Which one is that, I wonder? Oh, I had a bunch of them in my day. And a bunch of days for each one of them. But if there is no heaven, a fella once said to me, what if you never get there? What do you do then? I said, bless the Lord, I told him I had a good time taking a boot. See, I was born a slave in Ulster County, New York. Oh, yeah. They had slaves in New York, too. Now, not as many as in the South and not as profitable. So there was talk going on about changing the law. Took his time doing me any good, though. Must have been 1790 something. I was born in a slave cellar on a bed of straw. We were part of the livestock like animals. Mama, Papa, my brother Peter and me. Oh, there were other children too, but I never knew them because they was all sold away. Mama called me Isabel, but that got shortened to Belle. Later on in life, I changed my name to Sojourner, which means a wanderer among the people. Lord, I cried, thy name is truth. So I took for my last name that of my greatest and my only master. My name, my own name, my free name, Sojourner Truth. Children, I come here today, well, like most of you, to hear what I got to say. You see, I talk to God, and God talks to me. I talk to God in the field, in the bush. This morning I got up and I looked outside and I saw the beet holding his head up looking mighty big. So I've been outside to take hold of that wheat. You believe it? There was no wheat there. I said, God, what ails this wheat? He said, Sojourner. There's a little weevil in it. Well, now I hear talk about this here Constitution and the rights of man. So I reach out to take hold of this Constitution to feel for my rights, but there aren't any there. So I say, well, God, what ails this here Constitution? And she said, Sojourner, there's a little weevil in it. Well, now don't you know, these weevils are just going to eat up this country's crops. See, I spoke Dutch. That's right, I spoke Dutch until I was 21 years of age. Now, I can't read a book, but I can read the people. The law is for everybody. I took two arrogant men to court in my time, And I won my cases against the both of them. One of them tried to shove me off a streetcar. He said I didn't belong on. And then the other one accused me of murder. All the while looking mighty guilty himself. Now, nobody believed I'd done it, of course, but I wanted the law to clear my name. Oh, lady, a fella once said to me, "We don't care no more for your talk than a flea bite." Oh, a flea bite, I said. Well, God willing, I guess I'm going to have to just keep you scratching. But what's all this here talk about? There's so much racket. There must be something out of kilter. You know, I think that with the black folks of the South and the women of the North all talking about rights, the white men, they're going to be in a fix pretty soon. But what's all this here talk about? There's a man out there. He says that women need to be lifted over ditches and helped in the carriages and to have the best place everywhere. Nobody ever helped me into a carriage or over a mud puddle or gives me any best place. And ain't I a woman? Look at me. Look at my arms. I have plowed and planted and gathered in the barns and can't no man head me. I can work as hard as any man and eat as much too when I can get a hold to it. And bear the lashes well. And ain't I a woman? I have borne 13 children and seen most all of them sold off into slavery. And when I cried with a mother's grief, none but Jesus heard me. And then they talks about this thing in the head. What's this they call it? Oh, intellect. What has that got to do with a woman's rights? If my cup hold but a pint and yourn hold a quart, wouldn't you be mean not to let me have my little half measure full? Oh, then there's a little man out there. He says that a woman can't have the same rights as a man because Christ wasn't a woman. Where did your Christ come from? Where did your Christ come from? From God and a woman. Mine ain't had nothing to do with it. Now, if the first woman God ever made was strong enough to turn the world upside down all alone, we women together ought to be able to get it back and turn it right side up again. And now we's asking to do it. The men better let us. I spent the last years of my life in Battle Creek, Michigan. Oh, I like Michigan. It's unpredictable. I've been called a tall, strong black woman with a great sense of humor. I remember once I was at a rally and a group of men stood up and laughed and mocked me, made fun of me and accused me of being a man. I just politely pulled up my top and showed them that I was indeed a woman. Needless to say, they shut up. Oh, I have lived a life. I have. What I am most proud of is getting my son Peter back from the state of Alabama. You see, I had almost 5 masters in my lifetime. My 4th master Dumont promised me my freedom 1 year early if I worked extra hard and brought in more crops. Well, I worked my butt off. I worked as hard as 10 men. The year came and went, and he changed his mind. I guess I worked too hard. But I didn't change mine. I walked away. But in the meantime, I left my young son Peter behind. Master Dumont sold my son to a man that took him to the state of Alabama, where he would be a slave for the rest of his days. You see, in New York, slavery was to be abolished soon, but Alabama, he would be a slave for the rest of his days. Well, I took Master Dumont to court, won my case, and became the first black woman to win a case against a white man in the state of Alabama. Give me a hand. Then I went before the judge to get my son Peter back. He asked my son if I was his mother. He denied me once. He denied me 3 times. And when I went to hold him to let him know everything would be okay, he cringed. The judge asked me to pull up his shirt. He had so many wets on his back. that you could not see his natural flesh. A child. It reminds me of when I was a young girl and I was sold to my second master, the Neelys. Oh, the cruelest, most inhumane people you could ever imagine. You see, the Neelys spoke English. I spoke Dutch. So most of the time, I didn't know what they were talking about. One day, the missus sent me out to the smokehouse to get a ham. I didn't know what she meant. So I brought back a frying pan. Oh, she was mad. She beat me. She kicked me. She spit on me. And when the master came home, he took me out to the barn, tied my hands to the post, and he beat me till the blood run down my legs. 10 years old. I still have the scars today. You see, the Neelys weren't just cruel and inhumane, but they were child molesters. I was beaten and raped on a regular basis, and there was absolutely nothing anybody could or would do about it because we were not considered people. We were considered property, like a chair, like a horse, like a pig, for the master to do with what he wished. I was not only abused and molested by the master, but by the missus. You see, I found out a long time ago that the white woman, she had no rights either, which is why I decided a long time ago that I was going to fight for women's rights, all women, and I did. You see, once the missus married the master, everything she owned belonged to him, including her children. If she was married to a cruel and abusive man, oh, she could go, but she could take nothing with her, including her children. The missus had to endure the infidelity of her husband all over the plantation. The master had fathered so many of those slave children, including mine, that after so many generations of mixing and molesting, and very seldom, very rarely were those relations consensual, those slave children became lighter and lighter and lighter, until eventually some of those slave children came out looking as white as you. Oh, the master had no idea what he had done for the Underground Railroad. Many of those biracial mulatto children, when they came of age and the Underground Railroad came through, they would dress up like the missus or the master, get a wagon load of slaves and take them to auction, but they were really taking them to freedom. The master had become a conductor on the Underground Railroad, and he had no idea. Oh, I have lived a life. I have met such wonderful people as Frederick Douglass. You know Frederick? Oh, a runaway slave, a great, great orator, a dear, dear friend, and his father was his master. Oh, and everyone knew on the plantation that the master had fathered Frederick. Now, he had many other slave children on the plantation, but Frederick was his favorite. Little light-skinned, little curly-head, little slave child. He was smart. He'd take him around. Oh, he was clever. And the missus knew that Frederick was her husband's illegitimate little slave child, but she recognized that he was smart. So she would bring him into the big house to play with his white brother. Oh, they loved each other. Oh, they did everything together. They played. Oh, they were friends. One day the master walked in the big house and caught Frederick reading from the Bible with his wife and recognized that he read more fluently than his legitimate white child. He was outraged. He told his wife if he ever caught her teaching a slave, any slave, to read or write, that he would punish her before he punished his slave, his investment, because an educated slave is a dangerous slave. Because education is, was, and always will be power. But it was too late. Frederick had learned to read and write. In fact, his white brother was giving him books, and he was taking them down to the slave quarters, teaching the other slave children, those that weren't afraid. Because if they got caught learning to read or write, or if they gave the master the idea that they knew how to read or write, oh, they got punished severely. Not killed, because they didn't want to lose their investment. He would take those books down to the slave quarters and teach some of those slave children to read and write, and teach them that they were just as good as he was. Because you see, the master would use the color of the skin color of the slaves to control and to keep them fighting one another. He would give those light-skinned little biracial, little mulatto, white-looking slave children favor. He would give them little, maybe a pair of shoes, maybe a shawl, the little slave girl a dress, and the other slave children would get a little envious, but the smart slaves like Frederick and some of the others would let them know that it was a method of control and manipulation. Some of those books that he had his brother bring him were books on like philosophy. I mean, he was smart. Then he started getting really curious. The master caught wind that Frederick was teaching those other slave children to read and write, and he was going to make an example out of his slave, his child, in front of all the other slaves on the plantation. So he gathered them together, and he was going to whip Frederick in front of them all, and he let them know that no matter how much white blood you had in you, a slave is a slave is a slave. He took that whip to strike his son, his slave, and Frederick snatched that whip from him and told him he would never be a slave to any man, and he never was. Oh, he became one of the greatest scholars ever. He was about 14 years old, 13, 14, when he ran away. He left and never looked back. I met such wonderful people and became friends with Harriet Beecher Stowe, the author of Well, I'm so glad you read. I never got that opportunity. Oh, what a brilliant woman she was. She used her pen as a weapon. Oh, like a sword, to fight and speak up and speak out. She was a brave abolitionist, funny lady. She used her pen as a weapon in every character in that novel, and she would read parts of her novel. I thought it was the most interesting, fun, and brilliant way to expose the institution of slavery. Her book was banned in so many places. Well, she convinced me to take my memoirs. She would write them for me, to put my picture on it so we could sell it, and I could sustain myself as I sojourned around the country to speak up for women's rights and against slavery. Oh, she was a brave, wonderful woman. I met and worked with Susan B. Anthony. Do you know Susan? A suffragist, because I was determined to work for women's rights. You can see her face sometimes on a silver dollar. Oh, I worked with her. Now, we worked not just for women's rights, but for women to have more legal rights. So many rights, and I worked with her, and we went all over talking and speaking up for women's rights. But you know what I recognized? Many of these white women that were for the equality of gender, they were not for the equality of the races. They were staunch racists. So I had to fight with a double-edged sword. And Susan B. Anthony stood right by my side. I met the bravest white man I had ever known, William Lloyd Garrison. Oh, he spoke out. He called slavery a crime, not just a crime, but a sin before God. And he published in any publication that he could, and he risked his life to speak up and speak out against the institution of slavery. I had the honor and privilege of having several audiences with the great late Abraham Lincoln. Oh, what a tall, long, and wonderful man he was. You see, I worked with the black soldiers, the colored troops in Detroit, Michigan during the Civil War. And I recognized that these black men that were not only fighting in the Civil War, but for their own civil rights, they were not given boots for their feet. They were not fed the same food as the white soldiers. They weren't given proper clothing. Their living conditions were horrific. These black men were not allowed to carry a weapon. They were used mainly as scouts. But oh, they were wonderful. They did hand-to-hand combat. And they knew many of the Native Americans that were still in the territory that refused to leave the land. So many of those Native Americans and those black soldiers worked together. I worked with them, and I talked to Abraham Lincoln about changing and to make it and to make those black soldiers welcome in the Union Army, and to give them the things they needed to survive. I wrote a song dedicated to these black men to inspire them and give them faith to keep fighting for their freedom, called "The Valiant Soldier." Now, some people say I did not write this song, but I'm here to tell you that I did. Now, I want to share just a few of the lyrics with you because they inspired these men. Oh, they empowered them to keep fighting for their rights, for justice. Repeat after me. Just a few of the lyrics. We are the valiant soldiers
We are the valiant
who
soldiers
enlisted in the war.
who enlisted in the war.
We are fighting for the Union.
We are fighting for the Union.
We are fighting for the law.
We are fighting for the law.
We can shoot the rebel father.
We can shoot the rebel father
Then the white man ever saw.
than the white man ever saw.
As we go marching on. I think you know the chorus. Glory.
Glory, glory,
Oh, thank you.
hallelujah.
Yes. Oh, what a quiet.
Glory, glory, hallelujah.
Oh.
Glory, glory, hallelujah.
As we go marching on. Another important verse. We are tired of hoeing cotton.
We are tired of hoeing cotton.
We are tired of hoeing corn.
We are tired of hoeing corn.
We are colored Yankee soldiers.
We are colored Yankee soldiers.
Just as sure as you were born.
Just as sure as you were born.
Then the master hears us coming.
Then the master hear us coming.
He will think 'tis Gabriel's horn.
He will think it's Gabriel's horn.
As we go. Oh,
marching.
just smart, quiet. Thank you. And glory.
Glory, glory, hallelujah.
Yes.
Glory, glory, hallelujah.
Oh, I like this group.
Glory, glory, hallelujah. As we go marching on.
Last verse, very important. Father Abraham has spoken,
Father Abraham has spoken,
and the message has been sent.
and the message has been sent.
The prison doors have opened,
The prison doors have opened,
and out the prisoners went
and out the prisoners went
to join the Sable Army
to join the Sable Army
of African descent.
of African descent.
As
We go marching.
all right, bring it home, choir. Here we go.
Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah.
Oh, yes.
Glory, glory, hallelujah. As we go marching on.
Oh, give yourselves a hand. I told you I had almost 5 masters in my lifetime. My 4th master, Dumont, found out where I had taken refuge when I walked away. You see, I had taken refuge with the Van Wagners, Quakers. Oh, Quakers. For the first time in my life, I trusted white people. As a little slave girl on the plantation, oh, very, very young, we would play with the little white children on the plantation. Oh, thought we were just friends and we would play together. And they became of age and realized they owned me. Many of them treated me or treated us worse than their parents had. So I never trusted white people until I met the Van Wagners. They knew I was a runaway. They took me in, provided refuge for me. For the first time in my life, I was able to work for money. Money. Hundreds and hundreds of years of free labor. And I was getting paid. I was crafty. I was good in the field. Oh, I had nursed many a white child, many a child. But I was good. could sew. I would go out and sew. I could garden. I could lift like a man. I could sew like a queen. Oh, and so I was able to save money to hire a lawyer so I could get my son back from Alabama. Well, Master Dumont found out where I had taken refuge and came back to claim his property, his slave. Well, Mr. Van Wagner offered to buy me from him, and he accepted because he paid a pretty penny for me. And when I went to thank Mr. Van Wagner for becoming my new master, he stopped me dead in my tracks and told me I only had one master. He could never be my master, and that master is
God.
Oh, and I worship God with the Van Wagners, and they were Quakers, very humble. Now, understand, 99.9% of the slaveholders were Christian, and they used the Bible as a weapon to justify what they were doing. When we came over here as Africans, we didn't know Christian. We had our own faith. our own way of worshiping. And that was all stripped from us, along with our name and our language. We were converted, forced into Christianity, but we took it and flipped it and made it work for us. And so, I remembered those songs, though, that my mother would sing, those African lullabies and songs that she had remembered and from her childhood. And I just remembered those songs. And the Quakers were very humble and did not believe in singing praises to God. Well, one day I was walking down the road and I heard the most glorious sound coming from a church, and the congregation were singing praises to God. They were Methodists. And I knew I wanted to join that congregation. And I did for a while until some of the members started treating me like a slave. And so eventually I joined the African Methodist Episcopalian Church and worshiped with them for the rest of the days of my life. Oh, I have lived a life. I have. Now, a lot of people get me confused with Harriet Tubman. I am not Harriet. Okay? Harriet is 20 years my junior. Oh, what a brave little sister she was. You know, they put a $40,000 reward on that sister's head because in 1850, when the United States government passed the Fugitive Slave Act that said, we're losing a whole lot of our investment, a whole lot of our property. In 1850, the government said, well, you can go north and take your property, your slave, back south because they belong to you. Now, understand this. Some of those northerners owned slaves themselves. And not all of them were, they worked both sides of the fence. But some of those government workers were actually slaveholders as well. So they were definitely going to enforce that. Well, Harriet, what a brave sister she was. She rescued she just never lost. And free blacks like myself and Frederick and many abolitionists, even Harriet Beecher Stowe and some of the other abolitionists and the Quakers kept her safe. Oh, I have lived the life I have, and I am proud that I have. The Underground Railroad many of my sisters and brothers were on that journey. I ran on my own. I walked away on my own. But so many. And I dedicated my life to helping those on that journey. So many of the songs that that Christian faith that we had to take and adopt, we used it. So we had code songs. So many of our code songs in Detroit, which was a passageway, a major escape route after 1850, especially when we had to make our way to Canada. We had songs like, repeat after me. I'm on my way to Canaan land. I'm on my way to Canaan land. I'm on my way. I'm on my way. The midnight comes before the day. I'm on my way. I'm on my way. Canada, Canaan land, what does that sound like? Canada. Canaan land is a land of milk and honey that they talk about in the old Bible stories. You think we were talking about trying to get all the way over there across the ocean to get back to freedom? We were trying to go where? Canada. Now the song says midnight comes before the day. Midnight and day are secret code words for places. I'll give you a hint. Day is Canada. Where's midnight? Detroit. The secret code word for Detroit. When we were out in that field and we knew it was almost time in the South to get away, we also had something called call and response. The driver that was working us, that the master thought he had broken in, would start a chant. And it would spread across the fields, all across the land. And everyone would hear it, and they would spread it so that everyone, and we would know that it was time for the Underground Railroad to come through. We always changed the route. The route was always changing, we knew. Sometimes it was started from the big house, where the missus was actually a conductor, because she sympathized with women and enslaved. So many of those white, the wives of those slaveholders, they were conductors as well, some of them. So when we're out in the field, we might hear the driver start this song. Now, when I point to you, I want you to say, hey, like you heard me. Hey, call and response, all right? Okay. You ready?
Yeah.
Way down yonder,
Hey.
off the East Coast line,
Hey.
eating bread by the pond,
Hey.
eating meat by the pound,
Hey.
ancient day in the west, answer pretty in the face.
Hey.
Walk, believer, walk, Daniel, talk, believer, talk. And then they would spread it, and they would hear it. And so on the next, in the field, they would hear, way down yonder.
Hey.
And they would spread it, and they would know. Now once, and they would know where the meeting place was, and once the meeting place might be down by a pond somewhere. And then they would hear this song, and they knew it was time to go down by the pond and meet. They would hear, and you still hear it in churches today. You would hear, steal away to Jesus. I ain't got long to stay here. That meant it was time to go meet. And then when we got down to the meeting place, we would sing shout songs, but they were really escape songs. And one of the most popular, famous escape songs, you might know it if the master heard us singing at night, because we might sneak off anytime and meet, and he'd hear us, you know, he might come through with his little, you know, cheers, liquor, whatever he's doing. And we would hear us singing, and he might sing along, and he might hear this song, swing low,
Sweet chest,
stereo.
teary home.
Uh-huh. You know, sweet. Thank you. And the verse says, I looked over Jordan, and what did I see? Coming for the what do you see? A band of angels coming after me. Coming, you know what that song means? Swing low, sweet chariot. Swing low, sweet chariot means the Underground Railroad swinging low down south to get ready to carry us home up north to freedom. I looked over Jordan, and what did I see? Coming after me? I see
Free slave.
the abolitionists coming after me, taking me to freedom land. Hoo-wee, I have lived a life. I have. Well, old Sojourner has said enough. She ain't got no more to say, except goodbye, brothers. Goodbye, sisters. If I don't see you more, now God bless you. Now God bless you. If I don't see you more. Thank you so much.
Wow.